Hello students, welcome back to another math video lesson. In this video we will be going over chapter 9 section 2. Let's begin on page 449. Estimate lengths in centimeters. How do you use known lengths to estimate unknown lengths? So this question is asking, how can we use the length of something that we already know to estimate the length of something that we don't know? So for example, if we know that a 1 centimeter cubit block, we know that that is 1 centimeter long, we can use that cubic block to estimate the length of an object that we do not know, if that makes sense. So we can put those little blocks together and we can estimate the length of something using the blocks, because we know that each block is 1 centimeter long. So listen and draw. Find 3 classroom objects that are shorter than your 10 centimeter strip. Draw the objects and then write estimates for their lengths. So the first thing you want to do is look for 3 objects, and you want to find these objects that are shorter than 10 centimeters. So you can use a ruler if you need to. Anything with centimeter measurement will work. And go ahead and draw the object once you find it, and we need 3 of them, so draw 1 in each box and also write the estimate of their length. So estimate is an educated guess, so we're not actually measuring them. You want to estimate, so do not actually measure the objects. You want to guess, like, what do you think their length is, and you want them to be smaller, shorter than 10 centimeter strips. So go ahead and work on that now. Okay, class. Go if you have some answers that you would like to share with the other students, you can feel free to write a comment below in this video explaining what you drew and how big it was. Class, we are on page 450. Model and draw. This pencil is about 10 centimeters long. Which is the most reasonable estimate for the length of the ribbon? So there's a bit of information here that we have to break down. The pencil that you see down here is about 10 centimeters long. So they're telling us that the pencil is 10 centimeters long. Now we need to figure out how long this ribbon is underneath the pencil. So since we know that this pencil is 10 centimeters long, and we put it right next to the ribbon, we can see that the ribbon's going to be bigger than 10 centimeters, right? So here they're giving us 3 options to choose from. Which is the most reasonable? So is 7 a reasonable choice? If the pencil is 10 centimeters, and the ribbon is bigger than the 10 centimeter pencil, there's no way that this ribbon could be 7 centimeters, it has to be bigger. So how much bigger now is the question? Do you guys think it's 3 centimeters more than the pencil? Or do you think it's 10 centimeters more than the pencil? So here it's telling us that the ribbon is longer than the pencil, so 7 centimeters is not reasonable, like we just discussed. And the ribbon is not twice as long as the pencil, so 20 centimeters is not reasonable. So imagine if we had 2 pencils of the same size right next to each other. That would be much larger than this one piece of ribbon, so it can't be 20. That means that the ribbon would have to be 13 centimeters would be the most reasonable estimate. Now we don't know that it's exactly 13 centimeters. We're just estimating or making a reasonable guess, an educated guess, based on the information that we have. So share and show. Let's work on this as a class. Number 1, the yarn is about 5 centimeters long. Circle the best estimate for the length of the crayon. So the first sentence is telling us that this yarn is 5 centimeters long. So we know that the yarn is 5 centimeters long. Circle the best estimate for the length of the crayon. So how long do we think the crayon is now? Do you guys think it's 2 times the piece of yarn? Maybe. So we know it can't be less than 5 centimeters because the crayon is bigger than the yarn. So it has to be more than 5 centimeters. And all three answers are more than 5 centimeters. Okay. So that doesn't narrow it down just yet. So we can already see here that it can't be 20 centimeters. That's too much. Because 5 centimeters, adding another 5 centimeters makes it 10. Adding another is 15, and another is 20, so that would be a very long crayon. So it can't be 20. So I think it's going to be 10 simply because if you get this piece of string and draw another one right next to it, it's going to be the same size as the crayon. So we can make an educated guess that this crayon is 10 centimeters based on the string. So let's circle 10 centimeters as the answer for number 1. Okay, number 2. The string is about 12 centimeters long. So now they're telling us that this string is 12 centimeters in length. Circle the best estimate for the length of the straw. So now the straw is what we're trying to figure out, how long the straw is. So if the yarn is 12, we know that the straw is not bigger than 12 because it's smaller than the yarn. So it can't be bigger than 12. So that's true. These answers are less than 12, so we're on the right track. Now, would you guys say that the straw is about half of the string? It looks pretty close to half, right? So we can't say that it's 11 centimeters because if the string is 12 centimeters, 11 centimeters would be a little bit smaller than the string. Just a little bit. And we know that this straw is much smaller. Now, it can't be 11. Can it be 3? Well, 3 would be a very small straw compared to the string. And as you can see, the straw is closer to the middle. And if we divide 12 in half, if we cut it in half, we get 6. So this straw is a little bit bigger than 6, which is half. So I think the most educated guess would be 7, which is the closest to the halfway, which is 6. Okay, class, we are on page 451. Let's work on some problems on our own now. Let's do numbers 3 through 6 on our own. So what you're going to be doing is the same thing we did in the examples earlier. Use the first image as a reference to help you estimate the length of the second one. And read the question carefully. Pause the video and work on that now. Alright class, let's go over the answers. So for number 3, you want to have circled 4 centimeters, which is about half of this 8 centimeter string or rope. Number 4, the answer is 13 centimeters. The chain is just a little bit bigger than the pencil, which is 11. Just a little more than 11. Number 5, the string or the yarn is 10 centimeters, just a little bit bigger than the hair clip. Number 6, the string is 11 centimeters, which is a little bit smaller than the 13 centimeter ribbon. Class, we are now on page 452. Problem solving applications. Number 7, for each question, circle the best estimate. So what they're asking is that they want you to circle for each of these questions, so 1 and 2, they want you to circle one of these answers. So you're either circling 5 centimeters, 10 centimeters, or 20 centimeters for the first one, or you're circling 20 centimeters, 40 centimeters, or 50 centimeters for the second one. So about how long is a new crayon? What do you guys think? This is an educated guess. So there's no 100% correct answer. It's what do you think? Based on your memory, think back to when you first got a new crayon. How long do you think that crayon is? And for the second one, about how long is a new pencil? So think about getting a new pencil before you sharpened it. About how long do you think that pencil is, brand new? Go ahead and work on number 7 now. Okay, so for number 7, a new crayon is usually going to be about 10 centimeters. That's going to be the closest to a new crayon. For number 7, a new pencil is going to be about 20 centimeters. So number 8, analyze. Mr. Lott has 250 more centimeters of tape than Mrs. Sanchez. Mr. Lott has 775 centimeters of tape. How many centimeters of tape does Mrs. Sanchez have? So we're going to need to break down this question. So let's start with Mr. Lott. He has 250 more centimeters than Miss Sanchez. So Mr. Lott has 775 centimeters of tape. That's his total amount of tape right here, 775. So let's write that down. All right. So since he has 775, and that is 250 more than Miss Sanchez, they're asking us how many centimeters did Miss Sanchez have. So we're looking for how many centimeters Miss Sanchez has. We know that Mr. Lott has 775. So how do we find out what Miss Sanchez has? Well, it's telling us in the first sentence, it's telling us that Mr. Lott has 250 more than she has. So that means in order to figure out what she has, we need to subtract 250 from the 775. So let's go ahead and do a subtraction problem. 775 minus 250. And go ahead and work on that math problem. So 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. And 7 minus 2 is 5. So our answer should be 525 centimeters. That's how many centimeters of tape Miss Sanchez has. Number 9. This feather is about 7 centimeters long. Rachel says the yarn is about 14 centimeters long. Is Rachel correct? Explain. So this question is asking you if Rachel is correct in her guess, in her educated guess, in her estimate. So the feather that we have here in this picture is 7 centimeters long. We know that it's 7 centimeters long. Rachel is saying that the yarn below it is 14 centimeters long. Do you guys think that Rachel is correct when she says that the yarn is 14? We know the feather is 7. Could she be correct about it? Well, let's look. 7 plus 7 we know is 14. We know 7 is half of 14. So do you guys think that this feather is about half the size of this yarn? So write down in one sentence what you think. Is Rachel correct? And explain why is she correct? How do you know that she's correct? Go ahead and write a sentence explaining your thoughts. Okay, class, let's go over a possible answer. So feel free to write your answer in the comment section below. Just write, this is my answer for number 9 in your comment. So a possible answer is, the yarn is about the length of 2 feathers, which is 14 centimeters. And that could be an example answer. Okay, students, thank you for watching this video, and we'll be working on section 3 in the next one. Take care, everyone.